Oh my God, it's live.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Stephen Evans. I am the publisher and editor-in-chief of OutClick Magazine. We hope everyone is doing well out in quarantine land and with all of the changes going on. This morning, we are lucky enough to talk to Kip Reynolds. Kip is a dear friend, but also a realtor here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Kip, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate this opportunity. I think it's great what you guys are doing. OutClick is a wonderful resource to our community, obviously, because you're doing things that are really groundbreaking and current for the time, considering the crisis. But you know, when we use technology like this, we're learning all the time about how we can improve our lives just by staying at home and making sure we keep everybody else safe too.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we've all gotten a crash course in video technology and online technology and a whole new world we didn't expect. But as I've shared in other videos, it's forced me to reach out to people that I haven't heard from in a while and reach out to people in new and meaningful ways. Some of it has been quite a challenge for some of the businesses and some of the associations and small businesses and large businesses obviously are going through some very tough times. I think real estate obviously is one where you have to, you're trying to show property, you're out and about. And so people are looking for other digital technology ways to keep their businesses going. And so we're here today to look at kind of what you're doing and what's going on with you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of your story and how you started.
Now, well, before I do that,
okay.
We had discussed, because I'm kind of learning what we're doing as well. So we had talked about just before we started that I needed to share this on social.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So just so everyone knows, we're looking away on a couple of different screens. So if you
learning
go
by doing,
we're learning by doing. If we go to facebook.com/outclick, the video is actually playing. See, it goes to the video. So Kip is going to be sharing this as well.
Wait a minute.
Do you see the video?
Videos. So it's live, right?
Click live. So if you do this kind of thing, it helps if you go to your page eventually, and once the video pops up as live, and then share over to the right, and it will actually, yeah. If you hit share.
Okay, now wait a minute. Yeah, I see that.
If you click share.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
And then share it to your personal page.
Yeah.
So if you share it to your personal page, I'll show you here. So not that one. If you share it to your personal page, it will come up and you'll get a lot more views. It's a great way to share the video around at that particular moment and get people to jump in. I share it also to my story. So it's another way to get a lot more views.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is becoming a lesson in how to do this.
That's okay. It's actually a great lesson for everyone. So sharing the videos around both in groups and pages in your story helps a lot to get more views. So I'm going to do that as well. I've got 2 monitors, so I'm working on that right now.
Okay, I've done that, and I'm going to have to turn this off because I'm listening to, there's a bit of a delay, isn't there?
There's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, that's a little confusing. Okay, so I've shared it. It was a little slow. I think I shared it to a couple of places. Maybe I could still share it to to my story. You know, this social media stuff, I'm becoming my father, I think, is really what's happening. My husband is probably not too happy about that, but I think I am becoming my father because I'm finally starting to be at that age where technology is just so confounding at sometimes. But that's all right. I think I share
it, it's all a learning curve, but the more you
It's a
learn
learning curve.
about where to share things and how to share things, helps to really push things around social
Right.
media. One of the great things about the live video is that it pushes it out automatically. It's kind of free advertising in a way, is that it pushes it out automatically, but then the more you can share that around while the video is going on, the more you get automatic shares and automatic people jumping in while you're doing the live video. So you can obviously share the video after, but if you can get more people to jump in while you're doing the video, while you're sharing it, and while it's playing, then you get more views during the actual video. The goal is if you get user engagement, so people can jump in and ask questions. And then there are some other tricks about sharing within groups as well. So Arthur, my associate editor, is across the desk and he's sharing it to different groups. So that helps then our engagement while we are actually participating live. It takes a little bit of multitasking. I have two monitors, and if you open the video in a second monitor, pausing the video helps to not hog up the memory on your computer, so you're not trying to stream two different things at once to your monitor, to your computer, because it is very heavy on the PC with the video sharing. So.
How about that?
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
You learn something new every day. Yes, and we're continually learning. But as things are progressing, and this is kind of the new normal for a little while, that's part of it. So I encourage everyone to play with the technology. They're welcome to reach out to us if they want to do a video like this, so we can kind of walk you through some of the process. The part of it is doing it when we go live. You can't actually see it till we go live and doing it.
Right.
Right.
Very cool. Okay. So getting back to...
Do you have it all shared?
I think so, yeah. I shared the heck out of it, yeah.
Good.
Pretty sure. Yeah, it's been shared to my story. I shared it to my business page, and I shared it to my personal page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. All 3 pages.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the question?
So tell us about Kip Reynolds. Tell us your story. Kind of how you got started.
All right.
This is up close and personal with Kip Reynolds.
Not too close.
Not too close.
Stay 6 feet. But, well, 2005, I moved to Florida. Moved in with a very old friend and started my career in real estate. I took the 7-day course. When you get your license, and I encourage everybody to get their license. Everybody should have their real estate license. Not everybody practices real estate, but everybody should have their real estate license. When you get, you can do it in 7 days. It's an option. So that's what I did, and I got it first try, and I was licensed in October of 2005. And I've been an agent ever since. There have been times that I worked part-time because during the mortgage crisis and times like that, things were a little tough, but things got better. So we're now in a situation where things are a little tough again. I think it's a cycle like anything else, although it's a unique situation in terms of a cycle. I think the real estate market in general was due for a correction. Everybody keeps talking about it. It never quite happened. But I specialize in residential. I focus in the Victoria Park area and Fort Lauderdale, the beaches. I've been as far north as Jacksonville and I've been as far south as Key West. I've worked out in Tampa, but really my wheelhouse is the greater Fort Lauderdale area.
Okay. Yeah. And you've had a lot of success here in the greater Fort Lauderdale area. Tell us kind of like why realtors are problem solvers and like what you do.
Well, that's really is what we do. Realtors are problem solvers. We are over the years of experience I've had, there are a lot of different scenarios that can come up between buyers and sellers, and lenders and attorneys and appraisers and inspectors and pest control and painters and carpenters. You get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Other realtors. So there are a lot of egos involved. There's a lot of challenges when it comes to time and money. Those are pretty much the two biggest issues I see that people have to struggle through and with is time and money. Pretty simple, but pretty intense and robust in terms of what those things mean.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what we as realtors do is problem solve.
Mm-hmm.
In today's world, we are finding ourselves using tools like this. We have virtual open houses where where I'm still learning how to take my cell phone, go into a vacant home or a home where the homeowners have left for a little bit, so that I can walk around the house with my cell phone and give a live virtual tour or do a FaceTime. FaceTime was happening with virtual tours with a lot of single family homes well before this COVID crisis. So we aren't strangers to the technology, but until now, many of us didn't have to use it. It wasn't something we were forced to use. Another thing that we use are virtual tours using a proprietary software and equipment called Matterport.
Okay.
And if you like, you could pull up would you like to pull it up? And I can show you an example. This is a townhouse. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
See that okay? Okay. So this is a dollhouse representation of the entire property. And on the first floor here, you can see that's kind of a flex space. There's a bathroom over here, and then we've got stairs going up. And we can come up to the second floor, living space, kitchen over here, bedroom upstairs again. We're going up the stairs again. We have another bath here. And then we can move the dollhouse around. We can get an aerial view of the dollhouse. Mm-hmm. So this is an actual virtual representation of the interior. And then if we click inside, see where the little circles are?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I take my mouse and I click on a circle, I can actually walk through this home.
Wow.
Without ever having set foot in it.
Okay.
So this house was really nicely staged. These sellers were wonderful. They really did their homework. They listened to their realtor, that would be me, and they presented the home in a way that is really effective. Virtual Matterport tours aren't very good about going outside, unfortunately. This property has a wonderful roof deck, so I really can't show you that. But this gives you an idea of what you can do with the technology so that you can see a home without actually having to be there.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
That's pretty cool. This is a property that's for sale now. Is that correct?
No, actually, I sold this one, and I represented the seller and the buyers. This was first of the year. This was right around the 8th or 9th, I think, of January that this closed.
Okay.
And this is actually at the Ellington townhomes, which are in downtown Fort Lauderdale. I actually live in these townhomes. And we love it. It's a wonderful place to live.
Okay. That's really cool. That's amazing. And let me know if you want me to pop it back in again. I can pop it back in again, but to show it again. But
Sure.
You can walk through it. You can walk through and see the whole property. So, and that's something that you all do, is that you help them stage it. And tell us what staging is first, for those who may not know what staging is.
Well, basically, it's what it sounds like. If you have a play and you have certain things that you need in a play, like a couch, a table and chairs, a lamp, and you position things in such a way that they work for the production. So if you think of staging your home like a production, you are selling a house. You're transitioning from a home to a commodity or something you're selling, a house. So in terms of the emotional attachment, in terms of the shift in that focus, it's things like taking pictures off the refrigerator, taking personal items, putting them away. You might notice there's some pictures right here. Those really personal things like that shouldn't be in the home because, or also religious icons shouldn't be visible. Of course, things like prescription drugs, valuables, all need to be put away, out of sight, out of mind, no matter what environment we're in terms of the market or crisis or whatever. Selling a home requires a lot of preparation, a certain amount of perspiration, and an investment of time and attention to detail. And it's important you listen to your realtor because an experienced agent will help you to understand gently but firmly what you need to do to stage things in such a way.
And make it, and make it presentable in a way that's the most attractive for the potential buyer. I have a friend who also does real estate.
So you get the highest price. Yeah, so you get the highest price in the least amount of time because you only have one chance to make a first impression.
I like to watch the Property Brothers and those kinds of shows, and they, or some of the ones where they show properties and people say, "Oh, I can never live with that paint color," and they look at them like it's a $35 bucket of paint, and they can't get past the color of the room when that's the absolute easiest thing to fix, or a light fixture, and they say, you can go and buy a new light fixture. That's such a simple thing, and so it's those kinds of simple things you can fix and change to help kind of move property along. So and
so remember, you could. It's funny you mentioned these shows. I do watch them. My husband is much more interested in these shows than I am, but I do watch them at some points. You realize the $1 million listing is pretty much scripted, and we also realize that it's important to remember that your realtors are people. Just like it's important for realtors to remember that buyers and sellers are people. So we need to treat each other with a level of respect. And remember, it's not all a television show. It's funny because you can tell sometimes what show somebody likes to watch by the way they talk to you.
That's funny. Yeah, those shows are very set up, and they have a huge staff and a huge. They're all very put together. It's a very different world. So it's great to have a personal touch with someone like you to come along and give guidance and who's been there and walked that path a lot. So, how is your business?
I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about it. I am. I get excited when I can help people. I get excited when I can bring my experience and help them make it happen, because I can make it happen. It's just it'll happen. Just have to be patient.
Yeah. And when you finally get to the finish line of actually selling the property, I'm sure it's a great feeling.
It is. It is. Yeah.
So how is your business most been affected by COVID-19?
It's slowed. I mean, if you look at the numbers in the last, if we look at the most recent numbers that came out, I did some notes. Residential sales grew by nearly 6%. We had condo sales fell by about 2%, a little bit more than 2%, and single-family homes actually increased by 17%. I think that's kind of indicative of the difference between a condominium and a single family home. With a single family home, you can enter the home without somebody there. With a condominium, you have to go through the lobby. You have to get into the elevator. You have to go up to the unit and maybe walk down a hall. So some buildings may not be permitting showings right now. Some homes may not be able to leave. You know, the family may have someone there and they can't get out, so they're not allowing showings. So I think that the data seems to suggest that the market is continuing in a certain kind of way, but is not bottoming out. Not yet, not in South Florida, from what I can see. In terms of a national market, that is really hard to read because there are so many different variables. In terms of, oh dear. I need to ask my lovely assistant who's downstairs to bring up my power cord.
Okay.
1 second. Hey,
Okay.
honey. Wait.
It's all right. It's part of
Would you
live.
bring up my power cord, please? I'm out of power.
So we're talking with Kip Reynolds. We'll see if he gets his power cord going. It's part of the live that we are dealing with these days, and our technology. There's a lot of pieces and parts to doing this. I'm actually using my laptop to coordinate the video. I'm using a second monitor to work on the questions and the Facebook, and I found that my iPhone has better video quality. So I've got my iPhone going because of the camera quality is much better. So that's a tip I learned yesterday for better video quality. Use your iPhone. The camera is much better quality. So the other thing is have your devices charged. This is all very heavy drain on the battery because of the internet access. The camera and the screen are all at once, and so we're gonna see if Kip comes back. So if you have questions, we can maybe take questions from Kip. But if not, we'll start a second video and get Kip back on the screen to get Kip back on. So I hope everyone is going well. We're going to take a quick commercial break. So pause for just a moment. Oh, here he is.
I lost you.
That's okay. That's okay. We were having a quick commercial break about all the pieces and parts it takes to get video going. And
That's good.
It is a very heavy. Yes, it's a heavy strain on battery because of the internet, the video, and the screen are all going at once. It's all the extreme heavy strain on the battery. So
I learned that.
But you're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
So I was informed by my lovely assistant just now that some people have been asking questions. I haven't seen them, so should we look at those? Do you have any questions?
The question is, why should the pictures and other items be put away and not left out?
Oh, well, it goes back to the issue of selling a house versus a home. So if somebody comes into your home as a guest, they're going to enjoy the things that you put into your home to make it yours. What you're trying to do when you're selling a house, you want people to picture themselves in the house. So by having things like religious icons and personal pictures, graduation photos, or degrees, or anything with your name on it, things that are specific, and even nudity, anything like that, anything that kind of might make somebody feel uncomfortable, even a pet. The pet should be removed when we are showing the house to somebody to purchase it. So by taking those things out, people are psychologically more able to see themselves in that space. That's all.
And then our second question is how to prevent theft or criminals scoping out your home's layout during an open house. Do homeowners often use nanny cams during these types of showings?
Absolutely, 100%. There is, in today's day and age, everybody should always assume they are on camera. That means you really can't, do any kind of strange things when you're in a home, because there are always eyes on you. I always, whenever I have an open house, I have people sign in. I tell them that sometimes people will want to sign in because they might feel it's they're sharing their information so I can follow up with them to try and sell them a house. And that may have a certain amount of truth to it. But it's also because of safety. If I know who's in the house and that they've written down their name, I have some kind of way of tracing who and how many have been through the home. But yes, I do encourage that. I feel that people should have a nanny cam. However, the other thing is, whenever we as realtors show a house, we always accompany, that is a requirement of our license. We have to accompany people through the home, and we keep an eye on people. We make sure that they are minding their P's and Q's, that they are looking at the real estate and not opening somebody's drawer to look at their underwear, which has happened. So there we go. Is the Matterport something you as a realtor own and use for your listing, or is a service that is additional for the clients? Okay. Hi, Josh Zorn. Nice to meet you.
Can you repeat that again slowly, because not everyone can see that?
Sure. Can you, from Josh Zorn, can you see my comment in real time? Question mark. Yes. Is the Matterport something you as a realtor own and use for your listings? No, it's not something that I've purchased at this time because it's a little expensive, just the equipment and the software. And the rest of the question is, or is it a service that is additional for the clients? No, I pay for it. As an agent, I pay for the marketing. That's my job. Greg Sapansky with the mortgage firm has asked a question. Well, it's so nice to hear from you, Greg. I know that Greg has a very busy day today, and he's not able to join us, although I asked him to join us. His organization actually has some very interesting things that I'm going to read to you and tell you in a moment. But let's read Greg's question. This is some great content, Kip. Keep in mind, the rates are still at historical lows. See, he's written me what I was going to read for him anyway. Interest rates are in the low threes over the past couple of weeks, which is actually fantastic. I remember I'm 50. I'll be 50 in June. And I remember when I was a kid, my father had a mortgage on our house at 22.5% interest, and it was a 30-year fixed mortgage. So in today's climate, low threes or even high twos is really cheap money. There is still able to offer a 3% down payment mortgage for first-time home buyers with as little as a 640 credit score. They have great 5% down payment for $1 million purchase price. The assumption, I think, could be in the current climate, in the current crisis, that lending is difficult. Yes, I think there will over time be some hiccups, but what you should do is plan ahead. If you're thinking about buying a home now, no matter whom you work with, you have to work with yourself first. And you need to work with a team like a mortgage broker, like Greg, or a bank, a financial advisor, your accountant, and also your realtor, and formulate a plan for in the next 3, 6, 12, 14 months, however long you're thinking, what do you need to do today in your current situation to accomplish your goal in a year? That's really, so planning is important. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, because I'll always be here. I'm not planning on going anywhere. And realtors that practice real estate will always be here too, to help you. So what's more important is that you have your plan in place for you.
It's good. That's very good. That's very good advice. I think everyone obviously is as they're thinking about the future, what is going to happen with real estate? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? And people are, they're all wondering that question too. And no one has the magic ball or magic future right now. So,
well, one thing that I'm noticing is that although it seems like there are fewer properties coming new listings on the market right now, that means that over time, supply, because I'm still doing showings at my listings, I'm still having people call me and inquire about my listings. So although it's gotten a little quieter, they're still doing that.
mm-hmm.
And deals are still happening. I closed on one last week. I'm closing on one this coming May. So with those things happening, with sales closing, that means supply is going to come down.
Okay.
So when supply comes down and when the crisis passes, it's entirely possible that demand could tick up. Lower supply, higher demand. I don't know, but we'll see. It should be interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, there's only so much land between the ocean and the Everglades.
Yeah.
There's only so much land.
Yeah. And this will always be a popular place for people to live and work because of our climate.
Miami right now, Miami before the crisis was kind of congested. People were starting to feel kind of, they wanted to move north, and that has been the trend. As over time, if you notice, over time, the average sale price of real estate has increased as it goes north, up the coast.
Mm-hmm. We have another question from Josh.
Yeah. Hey, Josh.
Hey, can you see it there on the screen?
Hi, Josh Zorn. Do you think the Florida market is more resilient to situations like COVID-19? I've heard that Florida is known for more international cash buyers and so on. Well, I feel like South Florida has more international buyers. I also feel like South Florida has a lot of cash. There are a lot of wealthy people that buy real estate in South Florida. We do have an inventory problem when it comes to affordable single-family homes and affordable condominiums. It is an issue. And out of this crisis may come tools and consequences that will address those issues. They could force answers to those issues. As far as whether or not the Florida market is more resilient to situations like COVID-19, some people have said because of our ability to prepare for hurricanes, we may have a more, in terms of education, as far as I understood it, every child has a laptop because of hurricanes. The school districts have planned for these issues where kids will be out of school for many weeks and they'll have to stay home. So they have online learning as a tool. So there may be, because of storm seasons, the opportunity for Floridians to be better able to weather a storm like this. But as a simple example, I can't find toilet paper. I mean, we have plenty at home, but it's one of those things. Also can't get hand sanitizer. And when you can, you hear about it and you have to run and get it. So there are quirky little things that, whether or not we're experts at handling disasters, we're still subject to certain things. So it's, I don't know. How's that? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still a lot of unpredictables, exactly.
A lot, yeah. There's still always going to be in any situation.
Yeah.
But again, I think, Stephen, things like this provide doorways to people, provide opportunities to people, and provide, Angela just said, great information, Kip, about having a personal plan. And a personal plan is anywhere from what you do every day in terms of your routine to what you do in the next 6-12 months when we're finished with this crisis, because this too shall pass, and another issue will happen one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's very telling of character how people deal in a crisis. I think my husband's better at it than I am. I think he can handle things a little bit better than I can, but that's probably why I married him. So,
well, you guys are a fun couple to see out and see together. I see you at a lot of events, and he has a really fun show that we actually featured in the magazine. I've been to his show. I see you at Gay Polo and a lot of fun events. And you are big supporters of our community. So I appreciate you taking the time to come in and chat with us. Are there any points we haven't touched on that you'd like to share, or? And
well,
I always ask go ahead.
If you ever if you ever need help with real estate, if you ever have questions about becoming a realtor, if you ever need to speak to a lender, an insurance provider, a mortgage broker, an inspector, I've got a lot of people that I'm happy to always refer without any obligation of any kind.
Okay.
I serve on the Victoria Park Civic Association board, and I love doing that because it helps my neighborhood. It's important that we give back in some way. So that's just kind of, I think that's sufficient. That's good.
Yeah. The question I'm asking everyone at the end of these videos, there's two questions. One is, what are some words of encouragement you can give people during this time?
Have a routine. Exercise. Okay. Exercise. Get out of the house. Wear a face mask, some kind of covering. Take a walk. I think walking is wonderful. It's very beneficial to my relationship. The dogs love it. Try and exercise your mind as well as your body. And Josh Zorn just said, "Thank you so much, guys. This is great." Hey, thank you, Josh. So yeah, I mean, that's the advice I would give. Try and reach out to family and friends as much as possible. Use video. Talk to people. Don't isolate. You can isolate. You can socially isolate without being alone.
I would definitely agree. And there's been I've pushed out a video, and we've FaceTimed and house party app and everything more. I think even more so than we have expected. So it's been interesting. But life will be back at some point to some kind of normal. But reaching out is really been a key. Kip, how can we find you and or Kip Reynolds property online? What are your websites and different hashtags that we can find you online? How's best to reach out to you?
Just kipreynolds.com. It's my name. KIP Reynolds, REYNOLDS.com.
All right, we're gonna paste that in here for you. You paste that in.
Thank you.
All right, we'll paste that in and show that up. So, and then for more information on us, we are Outclick, OUTCLIQUE.com. Facebook.com/Outclick, all of our videos. You can also check us out on YouTube. The best thing too is to text OCQ to 22828. We're going to paste that in the chat. Hi Rick, how are you? Want to say hello to Rick.
Hi Rick.
I'm going to show our looks like your Facebook page. We found that for you. Yep. And there is your website that's going to be in the chat as well.
Awesome.
And then this is our last information. You can just text OCQ to 22828. Pretty cool to get up on our website. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're also helping people manage their social media. We're helping them manage their e-blast and all that. So contact us if you'd like to help with that. And so, and hello from Billy Watson. So,
hello, Billy Watson. And wait, it's 22828. And how do I text you? So OCQ. Okay, OCQ. Done.
And so the number, instead of a regular number, you text that. You should get a prompt back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll prompt you. So.
Got it.
All right. Thank you, Kip. Is there anything else? We really appreciate your time. And Kip's been a dear friend, and I endorse him personally too. That's one of the things in working with Kip is that he will take good care of you, and whatever your needs are.
Thank you.
So I really
that.
appreciate you. I appreciate you working with us, and I say that with honesty. So, and again, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Let's stay in touch. Have a great afternoon, all.
All right, great. You too.
Thank you.
you.